They took on all their gods with big button wings and all type of stuff like that.
Right.
That's the reason why you see stuff. All of that stuff is Canaanite culture, and they took it for themselves, and even damn, they made themselves afros in the statue.
Oh, okay.
All right. We got any more on two over there?
Slapping that was the end of it.
Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do? I'm going to talk more of this whole Joe Biden, Kamala Harris thing. You know, because I'm a super hard time. You know, walk on every. The homosexuals and everything, they shrink back a little bit because he ain't outwardly for that. You know, just like the most Republicans, even though they're for it in secret, but they're not for it just, you know, so blatantly like that.
Right.
You know. So the homosexuals had to shrink back just a bit. And Obama, hell, they popped out of the damn woodworks. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They hopping out of you know what I'm saying? They hopping out of your damn refrigerators or something. I mean, they coming out of every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? They coming from up under your cars. You know what I'm saying? And they popping out of everywhere. You like, God damn, where the hell did all of these come from?
Right.
You know, when you see them before that, you like, you know. You didn't see it like that, but now it's like boom, like they just taking over. But then with Trump being in office, that's another reason why a lot of people hated Trump too, because he wasn't about it like that. So you know, so they shrink back, but now they have Biden and Kamala Harris in office, and they calling Kamala Harris a black woman. People still argue with people about that, about her being a black woman when her lineage was, you know, put on social media.
Right.
See, and that's another reason why we got to stop listening to old grandmama doctrine. Because that's where all that one drop of black blood in you, black. Where the hell she get that from? She got it from Master. That's what he told her. One drop of black blood in you, you're black. It's idiot. You got people running around thinking Abraham Lincoln is black.
Still.
Right. Thinking Abraham Lincoln is black, you know. You enslaved, but he's the president. Come on, man. We in the cotton fields and he's in the White House. And he's black. No. And he had no uncommon genius like George Washington Carver where they needed him. You know, he didn't have anything like that. He was just a white man that, what the hell was he even really known for before he became president, though? That's what I'm kind of, what he didn't want to chop down a cherry tree or something?
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe, he was tall. Who gives a damn about an honest Negro?
Right.
Who cares about an honest Negro? No one. Matter of fact, Negro's honest, he can get you killed.
Right.
Especially at that time. You honest,
you talking back to me, boy?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you think you one of them uppity Negroes, huh? Yeah, you gonna tell the truth. Yeah, but that's, you know, I mean, so with this, like I say, with this whole Joe Biden thing, man, and another thing too. They hit me when they hit me on Facebook. They hit me on Facebook today for 30 days, but I appealed it. You know what I'm saying? I appealed it, but they hit me with 6 posts. That whole Joe Biden post was one of the posts.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't put nothing. The only thing I put on there was, whose man's is this? That's all I put. They hit me for that. You know what I'm saying? They hit me for that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's on there in the video, he couldn't keep his hands off them little girls.
Right.
Did anybody see that? And now think about it. Now you got all of these black people, right? All these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to hate child molestation as the president of the United States. Ain't this something? And if you don't vote, right? If you don't want to vote, then they attacking you.
Right.
What change are you going to get out of a pedophile?
So like if I could, they always say like for example at the slavery, when I was in training class, Dad let us sleep early so that way we can go and vote. of course, you know, I'm thinking in my head, but I spoke out loud. I be doing that sometimes. And I was just like, shit, I don't vote. And someone's like, huh? And that's like, if you don't vote, then you should stay here then. So I said, nah, I'm taking my ass home. I said, I ain't finna vote for no damn pedophiles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely crazy.
Right.
You know, they always turn around and be like, see, your vote matters. You are the reason why. See, if you don't vote, you see what I'm saying? What's gonna happen is you might be the one that's responsible. No, you voting is you're gonna be responsible for
exactly
these damn pedophiles in here.
Right.
And going along with that, they try to have this big comprehensive breakdown about how if you're not voting, you're still actually voting.
I heard that before, kind.
Really? That's what they're doing?
Something like that. I heard it once or twice.
By not voting, you're voting.
Right.
That's what they're trying to say.
Good night.
Ain't that something? Was some type of Jedi mind trick or something?
Might as well be, because like if you got the Democrats trying to run it, and you're not voting for a Democrat, by not voting at all, you're almost voting Republican.
Well, I mean, you know, but here's the thing too. And don't you have the right for, you know, ain't the other type of vote independent or something like that?
Yeah, they got like I think at least five different political parties, at least, and their names are coming out weirder than the LGBT community shit. Like,
wow.
They getting a little too long-winded with their platforms. It's getting out of hand.
Well, you talking about LGBT community?
Like the political parties, you know, we pretty much always had like Democrat, Republican, like independent,
right? Yeah.
And then you got you got like libertarian, conservative.
Conservative, liberal,
right? Like
all that stuff. Yeah,
socialist, communism. Like I don't know what they doing there.
There's a funny thing about it because we don't even understand the language.
Right.
Remember the scripture when it said, when it talked about a language they should not understand. Paraphrase. You know, and then there's another one when you go into like Daniel when it said he should speak dark speeches. Mm-hmm. Dark speeches is a speech that we'll be in the dark about, but they'll be in the light because they'll know what it's saying. Just like when they say that they're a liberal, a conservative, right? Just dealing with the word conservatism. Conservatism has to do with something that you've accumulated that you want to really hold on to, and you got black conservatives that what the hell have we accumulated here that we need to hold on to so badly? Because they ain't trying to come in the truth.
Right.
Now just like that, we can be conservative, right? Because we've been holding down the truth since 1969. We have something here to conserve, which is this truth. We have something to conserve, something to conserve and preserve. You know what I'm saying? We have something, you know. But we don't claim things like conservative because we don't want to give people the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, we claim separate. You know what I'm saying? That's what we claim. But you know and then the black conservatives, the only thing they just want to keep your job. That's all you got. You know, so he has something to conserve. Mm-hmm. You know, all these devils in these offices, these political positions, they have something to conserve, right? We ain't got a damn thing to conserve here. Right. We don't have nothing. Mm-hmm. You can't, because one thing, you can't pass down no goddamn job. No. You ever seen anybody inherit a job? You get a job working for, whoever the hell. You know what I'm saying? Just like that Bill Clinton's son, that he had with the black woman, right? Now think about it. Now he was in the White House. Mm-hmm. His mama worked in the White House, mm-hmm. and that dude cannot get a job at the White House. And he's not even black, you know what I'm saying? Right. Just because his mother's black, his mama black, he can't get a job at the White House. You know what I'm saying? Good night. She can't get a job at and the kids that she got, because I think she got other children by a black man, they can't get a job at the White House either. You know? Because that's what conservatism is about. Conservatism, like the Kennedys, they were conservatives. You know what I'm saying? The Kennedys were conservatives. Because that's the reason why all of the Kennedy children are in high positions today. Us, we ain't got no conservatives among us. We don't have none.
Right.
Think about your most successful actors and actresses, talk show hosts, athletes, or whatever the case is. When do their children even inherit the throne? Can they be able to even do, you know, and some of the kids, like say for instance, I'll use Shaquille O'Neal for example. His son is colder at basketball than he ever was. Y'all ain't seen Shaquille O'Neal's son?
I'm not sure.
Look him up.
Okay.
He's not big as Shaq.
Right.
Or as tall. He's only about 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just on the slim side. This dude is way better a ball player than Shaq probably could ever even dream of. That's how talented this kid is. But he will probably go nowhere. Because you can't inherit those type of things. You can't inherit that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't inherit a damn job. A slavery, as we call it in the UPK.
Right.
You can't inherit that. You know? If that was the damn case, think about some of your old, like singers and trumpet players and all types of stuff like that. Comedians, actors. What are their children doing? You know what I'm saying? What are they doing? They're doing absolutely nothing. And nobody even knows what they're doing at all. Now the Kennedys, on the other hand, people know about Ted Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, you know, all of those dudes.
Oh, okay.
So, because if Oprah did have children, yes.
And she's open about that.
Right, and she's a factory. She's been a factory for it herself. But I know niggas was knocking her down. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was smashing her. You know, I already know that.
Yeah.
And she done got pregnant probably several times. But think about it. With this whole Kamala Harris Joe Biden thing, this is going to strengthen a lot of women to keep doing that.
Right.
That's what this is going to do.
Right.
You know, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because there's a scripture that I wanted to go to. As a matter of fact, let's go to it right now. Let's go to Luke chapter 23 and verse 28 since we on the topic. Think oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right now, what I believe is we're coming at the end of the time that the serpent had promised Eve.
Okay.
Because she's living in the full power of this. Now she has a spokesperson. A powerful spokesperson that she perceives as being like unto herself.
Okay.
So it's pretty damn dangerous here. You know. Don't get me wrong, that spirit is dangerous, and because here's the thing about it, because women is not even the strength of it.
Right.
Say that one time.
With the whole spirit, this whole spirit, women is not the strength of it. Men are.
Come.
Men are the real strength of any feminist movement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The woman ain't got that type of strength on her own. You think women want to go to war with men? Hell no. They know that they will lose every single time. It will be no contest. They know that. So what do they have to do? They have to seduce men to do their bidding. They have to. They have to get what I call booty goons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To do their bidding. They have to do that. And they have to get men in power, men that are in power, in powerful positions.
Absolutely.
To hurt the men that they don't like. Oh, go ahead.
It's like you said, Luke 23 and 29?
28.
28, count that whenever you're ready.
Okay, let me make sure that, because I think I might want to go a couple of scriptures up from that too. Yeah, because this is the time where they get ready to crucify Christ.
Right.
And you had the women. Remember that? You had all the women that was behind them weeping. And Christ said something that they didn't expect to hear. You know, Christ is like that. You know what I'm saying? At the time that you think that he should say one thing, he'll say something totally different on you, real tough. When they was crying for him, his lightweight checked them. You know what I'm saying? Who expect to get a checking right at that? You know what I'm saying? Right at that time. You know, that's how hardcore Christ was. You know.
A lot of people would take it as like, you know, like, damn, like, why you checking me when I'm feeling something for you?
Right.
But they don't understand the spirit behind that.
Right. And he checked Peter also.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this in the same fashion. He's like, Peter was like, when he was telling him, you know, his destiny, what had happened, and Peter was like, oh, not so, Lord. He ready to get it in. And the Most High, Christ rebuked him, brother.
Right.
Christ rebuked him.
Right.
Straight up. Luke 23, let me see, make sure that I'm at the... Matter of fact, let's go to this
Required
they
prevail.
And the chief priests.
Right.
The chief priests. Ooh, this is rough. Not only did he have the Romans against him, because the Romans were the world, but also the chief priests in Jerusalem. And just think about it, the people that was weeping for Christ, they would die hard. You know what I'm saying? They would die hard because it take a lot of stones to go against the whole world.
Right.
I'm just saying, it really do. You know? It takes a whole lot of stones to go against the whole world and follow a man that the world hates. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot. That takes faith, real faith. But even in the midst of their faith, Christ still checked them at the same time. And this checking was certainly to make them better, to make them see something that was going to come later on.
Right.
This is checking. We just wasn't being mean. This has a serious benefit to it, and you know, the women that, you know, as a matter of fact, the result of that checking ended up as the sisters that's coming into the truth and would never abort their children and never tell no one else to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can see the result of the checking that he gave then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this stuff certainly had a maximum, hell of a maximum benefit to it. All right, let's keep reading.
Verse 24. And Pilate gave sentence that it should be as they required.
Yeah, I mean, Pilate had nothing to do with this. These are nigga problems. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had nothing to do with this. He washed his hands of it already. He's like, okay, whatever y'all do with him is on y'all. You know. Okay, go ahead.
And he released unto them, and he released unto them him that for sedation and murder was cast into prison, whom they had desired. But he delivered Jesus to their will. But he delivered Yahweh to their will.
Ooh, now what does this say about us to this day? We have an affection for evil people. Barack Obama was not one of us.
Right.
But look at the affection that we had for him. Look at the affection that we had for Martin Luther King. And that man was the most deadliest leader we ever had without even raising a gun or a sword against no one. Because without his influence is what made us throw away all of our businesses. We threw away all of our businesses because of his influence.
Right.
We went with him, and he had this the nonviolent thing. People were sitting inside these white cafes and getting milk poured on their head, you know, getting hit with eggs, all kind of stuff like that. Following after a leader that don't give a damn wrong with an idea or one of the ideas that he had. He just let you get the repercussions behind the decision that he makes. Good.
Now, God, I was going to say,
said that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even until me being in the I.S.U.P.K. that I even know that he even said that. You know what I'm saying? The masses don't know he said that. He said that. It was like me and you chopping it up like I made a big, huge mistake some damn word, and I go, man, I think I messed up.
Right.
Now you got to make that thing public.
Right.
You got to make that thing public, and if you're not the person to lead, support the person that is.
Okay.
I mean, damn, everything ain't just about being the goddamn leader all the time. It's about the nation when it all boils down to it. It's about the nation and not about an individual's vainglory or whatever the hell the damn case is, But you look at the no accountability. Look at the thing, same thing with, even with like I.S.U.P.K. I'm still waiting on him to say something about what happened. Now we know that Biden got the office of president. Well, we all know that, but he's not coming forward and being like, I made a mistake.
Right.
Obviously, as a matter of fact, his plan was just to get us to vote. That's the way I'm seeing it. Just to get way more black people, especially like, the street type black people, because America's made up a large portion of street type black people, what people will call thuggo and all of that. To get us to vote. The outcasts. Because we're made up of way more outcasts than we are incasts. We're made up of way more of that. Where everybody is not some white collar brother working at Wall Street or anything like that. Everybody's certainly not that.
Right.
So what he's trying to do, the way I see it, which sucks, because Ice Cube is one of my favorite rappers.
Right.
Obviously, his whole thing was just to get us to vote. Because if it was really about changing black people, then why the hell ain't he trying to hop up and make a deal with whoever the hell is in power right now? Why he just bounce and just disappear?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he say, okay, fine, no problem. Trump lost. Okay. Now, let me deal with Biden and see if I can cut the same deal or a deal that's similar. Because it's not like the $500 billion is going to come out of Trump's goddamn pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to come out of his pocket.
Right.
Why ain't he trying to cut the same deal with him? Why ain't he trying to go forward to this deal? Well, hell, why ain't he trying to deal with the damn Russians or something? Not saying that it would be right for him to do that, but if he was sincere about what he was doing and about getting $500 billion for the black community, he would try to deal with whatever damn resource it was that he could. He wouldn't just throw it away, just give up like that. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do that. He would go, he would see who won, and then go to the person that won to cut the same damn deal. And like I was saying before, what are you offering? You know what I'm saying? Because it probably go way deeper than just a vote.
I believe you said yesterday, if you're offering something, if you're trying to get something, you gotta offer something up.
Right.
Yeah, that was yesterday, right?
Right. You gotta offer, and when it comes to Esau, whatever it is that you offering has to be way more value than what the hell they're even giving you.
Right.
It ain't no, equal value, equal, what I'm saying? It's none of that with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to see his history, hell, even look on the lower scales like the mobs and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You cut a deal with the mob, you got a business and everything, and, you want a loan from the mob for your business. They give you that money, you owe them a piece of that business.
Exactly.
And as long as you have that business, you will continue to pay them, until, and if your business ain't doing good, then, you still gotta pay.
Right.
You're short, you gotta pay.
Right.
Regardless. So now, your business, you file bankruptcy, whatever the hell the case is, and what do? They go and they torch your business, set it on fire, burn it all the way to the ground, and then collect the insurance money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, Trump, he'll be no different. He's a mob boss too. You know what I'm saying? We look at Casino and Robert De Niro and all of them as crooks and the dudes that set up in the little office and all the old timers and all that. We look at them as crooks.
Right.
But we looking at Donald Trump as a legitimate businessman when he's doing the same goddamn thing, even bigger than what the hell they were doing.
No, you're absolutely right about that. That's facts.
We can't trust in that stuff. And like I was saying, Ice Cube disappeared. I'm still waiting on him to say something. What was he say? What did you say that he said something on Twitter or something like that?
Yeah, on Twitter he had someone had asked a question on Twitter. Where's Ice Cube? Because for a long time, Ice Cube, before Ice Cube had said anything about anything political, so to speak.
Right.
He was pretty much posting a lot of shit that the U.P.K brothers would post as far as factual things of, historical and archaeology and things of that sort.
Right.
So after he made headlines, as far as the whole Donald Trump meeting and things of that sort, being with the administration and all that, he just pretty much wasn't saying nothing on social media as far as Twitter.
Right.
So someone asked the question, where is he at? He posted a picture and said, I'm right here, and he, et cetera, et cetera. He just said some other things.
He just knew he had to respond.
Pretty much, yeah.
But in a situation like that, a smart thing for him to do would just take the heat and the ridicule.
Yeah.
But stay on the scene. Stay on the scene. You know what I'm saying? That would be the smart thing for him to do. Start doing like what Willie D is doing. Start his own goddamn talk show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And through that platform right there, he can start to explain on how he messed up, and people will still follow him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He can start to explain on how he messed up. Well, was in this political thing with Trump trying to get $500 billion, such and such and such and such. But being the fact that he left and he bounced out like that, now people are scratching their heads now. And raising their eyebrows, So you can't help but think now maybe he was set up to do that. Maybe he was set up to do that just at that time because Ice Cube ain't talked on no topics like that in many years.
Right.
Since F the Police, maybe.
Right, I was just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He ain't talked on no topics like that. And all of a sudden, voting time, boom, popped out of nowhere like a genie out of a goddamn bottle. You know what I'm saying? And now he's on there all black. He's looking halfway like one of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Beard and black body and politics. But here's the funny thing about it. With all of this thing, it's damn like she gave him a order to keep it all the way above.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Daddy, go check that nigga. Right. You know what? And you're noticing a lot of that. He cut my butt off.
Right.
My blood brother. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or some monkey stuff like that. Because his daughter posted some stuff that I had a problem with. Why make posts if you expect for nobody to challenge your way of thinking? You know what I'm saying? Why the hell even make a goddamn post anyway?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I make a post. I expect for people to challenge my way of thinking.
Right.
Yeah. That I expect that. You can expect it. Well, this happened. Get your brother. I want to say, we help you. And him as far as we go. And I blocked all three of their ass. I went and blocked that whole goddamn side of the family. What the hell with that? You know what I'm saying? I went on a blocking rampage. I don't even block. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But pretty much saying these niggas just cut the hell out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, real tough. If you ever want to come into the truth, you certainly ain't gonna report to me. You report to somebody else. Real tough. Right. Somebody in wherever the hell, you know what I'm saying, you do that. No, okay, let's keep going.
Count. Luke chapter 23 verse 26. And as they led him away, they laid hold upon one Simon, the Cyrenian, coming out of the country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear after Yahushua.
Right, that's Cyrene. Of course, he ended up becoming one of the disciples. But one thing you can't do, you can't listen to the devil's breakdown of this, because you know what? The devil will have you thinking. The devil will have you thinking that Simon of Cyrene was like the only black one.
Right.
Yeah, anybody ever heard that from back in the day? Yeah, I remember watching like TBN, and they say, see, this is how black people got salvation, because Simon the Cyrenian was from North Africa. So this brought salvation to black people. That's what they say. That's serious. This is what they say. Of course he was black, but guess who else was black? Christ.
Right.
They're the disciples.
Right.
They're all black men. Okay, let's keep going.
Also be.
Now, what do we see today? All over Facebook, on every social media outlet you can think of. You step out your door, whatever the damn case is, right? So Christ is telling them to weep for yourselves. Go ahead.
And for your children.
And for your children.
And that's a lot. That's deep. It's a lot.
Christ already knew these families was going to be toast.
It's a lot. That right there gave me chills. But that's it. As soon as you walk out the door, that's what you see.
Right. Right.
You see it everywhere.
Right. It's so.
It's like all in your face.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. There's nowhere to even escape it. The fact there's nowhere to escape it, you ain't got no choice but to face it. And that's what we do in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We go and attack it head on. Right. This is the type of thing, you got to attack a bull at the horns about right here. Because there's so much, you know what I'm saying? It's on every side. Just like the scripture talks about when the violent people are in power, the wicked walk on every side. So if they walking on every side, you ain't got no damn choice but to confront them head on. You don't have a choice. The I.S.U.P.K, we are the people that do that. Everybody else is too damn scared. They either try to escape it or they try to lightweight conform to it. Like I always say, this world is too strong for you if you're not clacking it at the horns. It's too strong. If you ain't going heads up with it like that, it's too strong for you. Because it smells any weakness. It's just like any vicious, predatory animal. It's going to eat you a damn alive and crush your bones. That's like how they say don't run from a dog? You know what I'm saying? You know how they say don't run from a dog? You got to stand up to it? That's very true. You got to show that dog that you ready to get down just as much as he is or more so than he is. You know what I'm saying? To make him back off. You know what I'm saying? You got to show him, because if he senses fear, he's not going to compromise. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to negotiate with him. You know what I'm saying? Any of that stuff. And you smell that fear on you, he's going to be way more willing to bite the hell out of you. You know what I'm saying? Try to tear your whole damn leg off. Well, you gotta confront him head the hell on and show him that you bigger than he is. Because verse 29.
Luke chapter 23, verse 29. For behold, the days are coming, in which they shall say, blessed are the barren.
Whoa! What do they say again?
Blessed are the barren.
What does that mean? Can anybody translate that? Can anybody put that into today's terms that women say to each other? Let me tell you what I've heard. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like they damn near wish the world sisters that can't have kids.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. That was my exact. Exactly right there. What do they say? They say, "You ain't got no kids, girl. That's good.
Right.
That's good. Well, I thought the kids were a blessing. If she got 5 kids, that should be 5 blessings, right?
Right.
Well, she has no kids, and that's treated like the greatest blessing. Now, this wasn't going on during the time of Christ. This wasn't going on like that. Women wanted to have children. You know what I'm saying? Women wanted to have them.
So like, ain't there a scripture when it talks about around the time of Yahweh, I want to say in Luke, where I want to say it says something like, like pretty much saying like bless her or Lord be with a sister who has a child in the winter or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're talking about the scripture?
Yeah,
when it said,
I think it has something to do with maybe Mary or Christ, something like that.
No, I think it said woe to be them that are pregnant. During the time of winter. Because the pregnant woman can't run like that because they're gonna have to run. You know what I'm saying? Pregnant woman,
like in a time of danger or something.
Right. Yeah, because think about it. Because Christ at that time, Christ was prophesying about the Romans. Desperation of Titus and them coming down and destroying Jerusalem, and we only had one way to run. They came against us 7 ways. We had one way to escape, and that's why we had to run down into Africa. But at the same time, we had winters just like America. We had all 4 seasons. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if it came in the winter, that's why Christ said, "Pray that your flight be not in winter." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's gonna be hell then. You trying to run, and you got kids and the family and all of that, you slipping in the snow and ice and your woman pregnant and so on and so forth, and the Romans is right on you with powerful horses, they ain't slipping, their horses are hitting the ground so hard that they sticking, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they're giving them good traction like they in a damn, one of them snow vehicles or something. Mm-hmm. And they coming for you, Okay, go ahead. Verse 29, you take it from the top if you want.
Go, Luke 23:29. For behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear.
And the wombs that never bear, the wombs that never have children, right?
Now come.
Go ahead.
And the packs which never gave suck.
And the packs which never gave suck. Now think about this. What else do women brag on that do have children? What do they brag on? They brag on the fact that they never breastfeed their kids.
Right. I don't know where that comes from.
That's that hurts. They think that it makes a mistake shaping their breasts. Go ahead.
They also brag on the fact that they can't do it because of it takes too long, it's too stressful, this and that.
All of that, right.
And when it goes to Similac.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Infamil, all that stuff. Yeah.
They'd rather give her the devil's milk, than for the child to feed from her.
Right. So like, you don't see cows, you don't see dogs or like animals giving they children Similac and shit like that.
Right, exactly.
Now, of course, it's not unlawful. We know that. But it's more better.
Right, it's really not expedient
for a woman to breastfeed. You see what I'm saying?
Because,
but if that's a choice, and you got to settle for that, it's understandable. But breastfeeding is, put all your attention and power into that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's better for the child. Honestly.
Right. Now I can see if the woman had been on drugs
or something like that.
Yeah. Because that stuff come out through the milk.
Yeah.
And milk is so unhealthy. That she really can't give it to the baby like that. I can understand a situation like that.
Yeah, of course, always. Because you got to do certain things and eat certain foods, and there's a way to make sure it comes out in a functional way.
Right.
Sometimes it breast dries up, and a lot of different things can happen.
Yeah, it was a lot of times.
In that case, it's understandable. But if you just say no straight to it,
right, that's just being totally selfish.
Yeah, being lazy.
That is unlawful. For a woman to not even want to feed her own child, and then they wonder why they get breast cancer.
There you go.
And that solution behind breast cancer is going somewhere with a bunch of white women and walking.
SHALAM.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that something?
I was going to say something that ties on to this, but breastfeeding also, it just doesn't benefit the baby, it benefits the mother too. Like if they want to lose weight, it helps them lose weight faster.
Right.
If they're big and they saying that, I can't lose weight because this baby is making me big, you can't say the baby's the best buster. Is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
It helps them lose weight faster.
Right.
Hey, it's like, give her a hand. That's absolutely
right. You shouldn't be saying that this baby did this to you. If you want to lose weight, breastfeed your baby, please.
Right.
Once you have a baby.
And you know what? And also too, it's also even a spiritual important. It really is. It's very important. And she knew that. She knew that this wasn't her child, you know. But she, even though she wanted him, but she was like, you know, let him feed with the, you know, let him be weaned from the Hebrew people. So a lot of people think Moses didn't know his heritage until he was grown. He already knew his heritage.
Of course.
He had been knowing it.
Yeah.
You know, he knew who his mother, father was. He knew all of that. Go ahead.
And then it's also free too.
Let's say that again.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Right.
Exactly, it's free.
That's right.
You don't have to buy it. You don't have to sign up for it. You ever seen anybody sign up for their own titty milk?
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do none of that. You don't have to cut no deal with the devil, the medical community, none of that stuff. You know, this is something, and then it's a bonding between the mother and that child. And it even causes the love to grow stronger because women that breastfeed their kids love their children more. It just is what it is. They love their children more. Now think about it. You got a woman out here that she want to give him the Similac and all of that. She too selfish because she don't even want him to have none of her milk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like she can drink it herself. She'd rather nobody get it than they give it to him or her. She don't give a damn about how their bones grow. None of that.
Right.
But the woman is like, I'm going to breastfeed my child. She's really trying to connect and bond with that child.
That's right.
That's what she's really trying to do. She's making a bond.
Right.
You know? And that child, you know how they say, you know, the man is supposed to be the provider. A woman is made to provide. That's why her titties grow milk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that the children can eat from her. You know what I'm saying? You even see that in the animal kingdom. They got all types of different variations of that. It's one situation where you got the mother is supposed to be ready to make that ultimate sacrifice. That's why a lot of women, you know, still know that they can die by having a child, and they still want the child anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They still decide they're gonna have that child anyway. There's a race of spiders, I think it's spiders or something like that. That as soon as they lay the eggs and everything, and the eggs hatch, their very first meal is their mother. She gives the ultimate sacrifice so all of those little babies can go, you know, be strong and go out and, you know, and do what they do and populate.
It's like, I don't think it's all spiders. I think
No, just one. Yeah, just one that I know of. Just one.
Damn, it's on my mind. I just can't think of it right now. It's not. Yeah, I forget it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of them, but there's another name.
Right,
They eat their mother though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That tells a whole lot. She lays her life down so that they can eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty strong. That's, you know, also too metaphorically with Christ. You know, he laid his life down.
Right.
You know, just like the lamb do in the Passover, lay his life down so people can eat.
Things to say to the mountains, fall on us.
Does anybody explain this one right here? Go ahead.
Just kill him.
Yeah.
Just kill him.
Right. Because they're going to have to pay a ticket for all of this.
Right. And they would rather go through, you know, getting covered up with a landslide.
Right.
Versus having to deal with this on such a personal level.
Because in Christ, they're going to have to look at who they really crucified when they killing those babies. When they killing those children and all of that, and how they done beguile the black woman and everything. They going to have to face, you know what I'm saying, her king. And they would much rather die quick than to do that. And when they say, so the mountains fall on us, you know, the mountains also have to do with high up governments, with military. They're like, man, I'd rather a whole army, just put me before a fire squad.
Right.
Just put me before fire, because I don't want to deal with what's coming out of the sky. I don't want to deal with that. Go ahead.
And to the hills.
The hills of smaller governments.
Cover us.
All right. They want the hills to fall on them. You talk about the landslides and all of that. You know, they'd rather just be buried alive and go into the potter's ground. You know what I'm saying? Than to face that, because for everything that they do, there's going to be a price, a hell of a price to pay.
Of course,
It's going to be a hell of a price to pay. They deceive the black woman, and then say, you know, that her life would be better if she kills her children. You know, of course, she gonna get punished too.
Right.
But their kingdom is gonna get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Their kingdom is gonna get done. Go ahead.
Verse 31. For if they do these things in the green tree,
If they do these things in a green tree, back the day, how people would do the abortions way back in ancient times, they would have a place, the green tree, where they can be hidden and everything, and it'd be by a stream. And what they would do, they would give themselves the abortions at the stream and watch the baby down the stream. That's how they did it in ancient times, right? Way back in ancient times. That's the reason why they took the male children during the time of Moses, and what did they do? Threw them down the river.
Right.
That's how they did it back then. They would have full term abortion. Now go ahead.
what shall be done in the dry?
It said, what shall be done in the dry? The dry will be the abortion clinics. Because it ain't a bunch of water flowing through the abortion clinics like a stream. That's the dry place, right? Yeah, the under, like I said, under the green tree is where the stream is at. You know what I'm saying? That's where the creek and the stream and all of that is. But see, this is done in the dry where there is no stream. You got water, you got faucets and all of that stuff, and you know the stuff, the way that they get rid of the baby. But this is the dry, and the abortions in the dry are way, way more than what they were in ancient times.
Right.
It's like, what, 500,000 a year, just the tribe of Judah alone, I think. And that's not even counting the other tribes. You imagine all the 12 tribes, how many children are being aborted annually? Nobody even came up with that number. I ain't never heard nobody do it, have you?
No.
Because the number will be so damn astounding.
Oh, okay.
You know, sometimes stuff can be so bad, we don't even want to hear it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can barely even take the 500,000 a year of the tribe of Judah alone. So if we was around all of this up, all the 12 tribes, it might make something faint.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You can't even wrap your mind around that. You got to think. And the abortions really started to kick off real hard during the 70s, right after the Civil Rights Movement. So, and the estimated number between then and like the 90s was like 30 million? 30 million babies?
Yeah, it's like it. I would say that, yeah, because I believe that's what Catastrophic War has said, around the same number that you said. You said 30 million?
About 30 million, right.
Yeah. Now he mentioned something in the 60s too, but it's definitely was a lot more after the 60s, meaning the 70s.
Right, because it started to pick up.
Yeah.
We had more functional families, like in the best. That was the norm.
I would say 10.
Yeah, a lot of the time it was more. Yeah. All on one salary. Daddy's paycheck. Daddy working wherever the hell the case is. Mama takes care, and the sisters help mom. You know what I'm saying, to take care of the house or such and such. You know, all of this stuff. You know, the boys get of age or whatever. They go get them a little job somewhere. You know, try to go to college or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. So we was having way better families, you know, and we wasn't starving paycheck.
Right, absolutely.
You know, but then next thing you know, what did they start to do? They started they started sending women out to go to work. That's what really started to kick this thing off, keep it all the way above.
Right.
When they start, you know, girl, you don't have to depend on him and all of that, and it started slow. You know, you ain't got to depend on no man. When her life was great when she was depending on him.
Right.
Her life was great. She raised kids. They all look like him. You know what I'm saying? You know, pretty much saying they all had the same dad.
Right.
You know, same father. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case was. A lot of times, you know, you have him another crib somewhere on the other side of town. You know, and the niggas was taking care of 2 families.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, you know, he got 8 by her, 3 by her. You know, he taking care of both families. Good.
Yeah, as I come into the truth, I realized just, you know, just listening to a lot of brothers teach that, like you just said, in the 50s, you know, in the 50s, early 40s, you know what I'm saying, there was a strong time period where, you know, let me see, Shawanda knew about Keisha.
Right.
And Johnson was messing with, Keisha and Shawanda, whoever, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they kept their families close.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. You know.
So
right.
now today the roles have changed because of all these events from the 50s to the 60s and so on and so forth up until now has changed ways and fashion. Like it's going to be broken. It's more understandable. I won't say so much acceptable, but more understandable between the women.
The women were more, you know, and that's it. He get the big piece of chicken. He come in, you know what I'm saying? You know, then it was more like that. It was more, you know, solid like that.
It was.
You know,
it really was.
That's the reason why she didn't trip on him having another woman, because she understood that that's his right. She had more understanding, you know, of that. But where the problem kicks in at is when, you know, she's taught that she's equal to a man. Actually, equal means over. To be honest with you, when it all boils down, it means that she's over the man.
Right.
So anybody that you believe that you over, they can't, you know, if that person's your servant, they can't get with who they want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she believes that he is her servant, so he can't go and get anything else. And to be honest with you, that is the true reason why black women hate interracial marriages between a black man and any other race of women. Not because they give a damn about the race or nothing like that. They want to keep black families strong. They don't give a damn about black families, because if they did, Planned Parenthood would be closed.
Right.
They'd have to come up with some other scheme. You know what I'm saying? What it is, when it all boils down to it, being the fact that she thinks that she's so much better than you, she believes that no one should love you, not even herself. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be getting love from nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. And her, and then here's the funny thing about it, because they hate the same black dudes that be in interracial relationships. Why don't they hate the white man who made it all legal? He's the one that made it legal. Hate him. It wouldn't be no interracial marriages if, you know what I'm saying, if he didn't legalize it. Right. Wouldn't be none of that. Good.
Because, I mean, it was a time where, of course, even today, we still, I mean, black men and sisters still get killed or have to suffer the consequences of being with another race of people that they should not be with.
Yes.
But it was more strict back then.
Right.
To where, like, you know, everyone knew, like someone was made an example to know not to do this.
Right.
That's what the Bible tells us in the book of Deuteronomy. Don't have your children with their children.
Right.
The Apocrypha in the New Testament says the same thing.
Right.
But now America has made it more acceptable in a way. You know what I'm saying? But it still bites us in the ass.
Right.
Go ahead, Salaki. My bad. What?
You know, and that's a heavy point, because with the law, statutes, commandments, we had, I mean, not only did we have, as far as Israelites going, a national overview of that code of conduct.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But those issues were dealt in-house. Mm-hmm. Now, coming in today's day and age, before civil rights and before the feminist movement, before they aligned those personal feelings and home issues with politics, you know, we dealt with that behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. That woman, those sisters who had that one man running a couple different families, that they didn't run to their alderman saying, you know, I can't believe this nigga, he got another woman, a whole other family.
Right.
They dealt with that behind closed doors.
Right.
Like Alan was saying, they were able to piece that out.
Right.
They knew how to make that work for the betterment of their children, for themselves, for their family. Mm-hmm. And then they want to move this into the political section. And then I mean everything just gets uncovered.
Right.
There's no privacy. There's no decency anymore.
Right.
You're just throwing everything out there, and then your emotions get tied into it because now I mean you gotta be on the front page news or else it don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got all these different political agendas. So again, like your topic, they're good to understand, but not to trust them.
Right. Yeah, we can't trust it, and we can't, you know.
And so, like, if I may, I mean, just even the title of the topic, like you just said, it's very versatile because everything that you're talking about, you know, his comments, mine, like, of course,
Right,
you see what I'm saying? Now,
right. You can understand, like it's an option for someone else.
Right. It's not an option.
Yeah, it's off the table, totally.
It definitely is death, though.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
Yes. And see, here's the thing too. And this is another thing that made, you know, people so enraged because, see, way back in the day, it was common for, like down in the downtown, like you see today, like when we be at camp, and you see the interracial couples, it'd be a white man and a black woman.
Right.
Even way 100 years ago, you know what I'm saying, people was seeing that.
Right.
But then when they made it to where black men and white women, you know what I'm saying, then that's when all hell broke loose. And it wasn't for the, and if you gotta think about it, who were the two most angriest people was black women and white men. Because they, in their minds, they were supposed to be together.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to be together, you know, and this was supposed to be some slave pleasure that they could only enjoy.
Right.
You know? But then they're not mad, you know, at the people that made the stuff legal. They're not mad at them at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know? They're just mad at the lost brother that's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of. And then if I may, they almost can't bear to face the fact that they were wrong in trusting in that political system.
Right. Yes, they
can't
can.
admit it now.
Right.
They already put the eggs in that basket.
Right. Right. And then just like I was talking about the celebrities and all of them,
Right.
they can't bear it either. It'd be best just to be strong and just go make a video, you know what I'm saying, be like, you know, look, I was wrong, you know, sorry my people, you know, such and such. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. Barak Yahweh for the I.S.U.P.K Commander GEN.YAHANNA, because we could have just taken it to council.
Right.
We could have dealt with this again behind closed doors.
Right. Well, only us.
Nobody had to
Right.
ESPN didn't have to put nobody on blast. It wouldn't have been on CNN. It wouldn't have been on MTV or BET or on YouTube.
Right.
We would have dealt with that in house. The brothers could have humbled themselves and the sisters could have humbled themselves. We would have squashed it and moved on.
Right. And that would have been that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. On to the next episode.
Got it.
You know? Yeah. You know, but you know, the accountability of the leaders is really messed up, and that stuff has not changed either.
No.
Just like Martin Luther King, because what he said and everything about get my people to burn. I don't see that as him holding himself accountable. I still don't see it as that. Because if he really believed, he'd have made that public. Hell, he made I Dream public, didn't he?
Right.
Everybody know about that, right?
Right.
So everybody should know about him saying that he joined his people to a burning house.
Right.
You know, and gathered himself with a council of men to try, at least, you know, to try to see what they can do.
Right.
Because the scriptures say, without counsel, do nothing.
That's right.
You know, you're supposed to have a team of people that you can rely on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You might not be in agreement with them all the time and everything. They might not be in agreement with you. But at some point, all of y'all can put y'all's heads together and screw in a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? You know, at some point, they can at least make moves and do something. You know, the Lord at least see you doing something right. At least you're taking up a counsel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, out of a pure motive to really try to fix Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Hell, maybe Martin Luther King would have been moved into the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he could just hold some accountable, if he had been accountable. But that's our problem. The Christian churches are destroying families. The political system is destroying families. They're wiping these damn families out, and nobody's even holding them accountable, though. They sat there, you know, got some, you know, you're in a Christian church, you and your wife having problems. Y'all take counsel with the Christian pastor. Let me tell you what the Christian pastor will do. And this is cookie cutter for them. They'll tell you, right, that you should bow down to her demands to make your marriage work. Make the marriage work. But they'll tell her something different. Let me tell you what they'll tell her. They'll tell her that there's greener pastures out there.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now, think about it. Y'all go home. Y'all not coming in with an idea of fixing the marriage. Y'all coming in different vibes.
Right.
And I like the boy to sound as raunchy as what it is. I would say the P word, but I ain't gonna do that because with box cancer, and she goes to the Christian pastor about that, and he praying for the box cancer, but he was the one that advised her to get the box cancer in the first place, because that's how that type of cancer is formed.
Right.
Of a woman having two different semens in her. She's fashioned for one man, but then she gets a stranger up in her.
Right.
And what does this cause? Because everything is made by fire. Everything is made by whatever you see, whatever you touch. Everything is made by fire because everything is made by the mouth of the Most High, right?
Right.
And what is the word of the Most High? It's a consuming fire. So that means even when you shoot your seed in that woman and somebody else shoots their seed into that same damn woman, you got two things that are mixing that are not supposed to be.
Right.
It's just like taking a wet fork or something and putting it in a light socket.
Right.
What happened? Boom! So now that boom happened, and inflammation, inflammation comes from, flame. That's why it's called inflammation. Putting flame inside there. Next thing you know, it done turned into a cyst. It's done turned into something, and she got box cancer. Got to get ovaries removed. All kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And box now smelling like the grave.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And guess who helped her to get there? Christian pastor.
Right.
The Christian pastor. And at the same time, he won't sit back and think, man, that was some real crappy advice that I gave. Man, hold on, man, that wasn't right. You know why? Because he's not held accountable.
Right.
He doesn't have no one, that holds him accountable for anything. They have all of these Christian pastor meetings and stuff like that. They have Christian pastors that they try to operate. Sometimes they try to operate somewhat like us a little bit, but they're not held to anything, right? They'll have like senior such a pastor, senior this pastor, such and such a, but they don't counsel with or listen to each other. The only time they listen to each other is on how to make more money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How to get more money. They ain't dealing with them on no moral issues or none of that. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to find out how to make more money, how to get the people to put more money inside the collection plate. Their thoughts is on that, how to raise money. Everything is money. And they see somebody that has a more successful church than them and a bigger following than them. They want to know how they did that. They want to know, how he's got 500 members and I only have 90 something. So now they want to get up under his wing, see what he's doing and all of that. See what, and looking at him as a mentor, but nothing for morality. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's not trying to find out how to give good marriage counseling. He's not trying to find that out. He figured he already got that from the world.
Right.
From Esau, from America. Because that's what he's teaching over that pulpit. He's teaching America. That's it. He ain't teaching nothing out of this Bible. He's manipulating a few scriptures that he knows to fit America.
Right.
All right. Let's go to Revelations. Let's go to Revelations 2 and 20.
Revelations chapter 2 verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee.
Now, this is right here of the church. One of the seven. that Christ is pointing out the things that they did good and the things that he hates. Matter of fact, I think we want to take that up a couple of, maybe to 18. Let me see to make sure. I want to give people a good feel of what's going on here. Yeah, let's go to it.
These things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like and his feet are like fine brass.
Another color scripture. So people can't say that they don't know what color Christ is. You know what I'm saying? People can't.
I'm sorry. Read one more time.
Kind of. Revelation chapter 2, verse 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire, and his feet are like fine brass.
This is what Jesus is saying about himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He's describing himself right here. Mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 19. I know thy works.
I said, I know thy works. Because this church, just like the other six, was working hard. You know what I'm saying? They was putting in that work.
Yeah.
You know. Go ahead. That's why he said, I know thy works. Go ahead.
And charity.
And charity. Liberally giving to brothers, you know, sisters and families that need, you know, liberally making sure that everybody's eating, make sure that everybody's dressed nice, making sure that, you know, nobody's lacking for anything. You know, these are good works, right? But see, here's the thing. You know, Christ's gonna deal with them other things that people don't want to deal with. Remember, there was a situation where the Most High said, "Put away the false gods," and then he kind of paused for a second and said, "and asterisk." You all remember that?
Yeah.
He said, "Put away all the false gods." He said, "and asterisk," because he knew asterisk is the one we will hide, the one that we were way more likely to hide.
Yeah.
And anybody know what the asterisk is? The god of feminism.
Oh, say the name one more time.
Asterisk.
Is that the same god of Easter?
Right. Same thing.
Ishtar?
Right. Same.
Ishtar, yeah.
It's called different things throughout the ages, but it's still the same. It's still the same exact deity.
Yeah, I know it's mainly used as a fertility god.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also with, you know, rebellion, hard-headedness, woman usurping power. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times it won't come as obvious straight out. Mm-hmm. It'll be a subtle thing. Mm-hmm. And Christ see the subtle things, and just like what was going on here, this thing was more subtle. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, women is getting titles now. Evangelist. Mm-hmm. All the evangelists is men. They didn't know goddamn female evangelist. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, female evangelist, you know, apostle. Apostle, really? She don't even know what the hell apostle means.
Right.
Or what the job of an apostle is. Mm-hmm. The only thing she want to do is rule over men. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I know thy works and charity and service and faith and thy patience.
And thy patience. Patience is continuing in the well-doing and the things that you was doing first, and it's even doing more. You know, that's patience right there. Go ahead.
And thy works, and the last to be more than the first.
And the last to be more than the first. The works increasing. You know what I'm saying? Doing more, you know, or making more of an impact. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Now look at all of these good things that Christ is saying about this church. All these good things he's saying, right? Go ahead.
Verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee.
He said, I got a few things, I got a bone to pick with you, though. Go ahead.
Because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel.
And this ain't talking about the literal woman Jezebel. She had been dead ever since Kings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not talking.
I'm assuming by you saying that you're talking about different, two different time periods.
Right. Way to get because this Revelation was written during the time of Rome. You know, the Roman Empire. That's a long time. You know.
That's shit. What was that, like maybe 5,000-6,000 years ago?
I'll say look, probably maybe it was somewhere like maybe 3
years ago.
3,000 somewhere now.
Jezebel.
Yeah, probably about 3,000 years ago. I'll say. Yeah. It was time.
Some around that line.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Around that time, so
yeah. Well, between 2,000 and 3,000, somewhere in that range, right there.
Because Christ was on the scene over to. I mean, I know Jim said over 2,000 years ago.
Right.
So I'm saying 2,000 or 3,000.
Right, and then Ahab lived, about 1,000 years before that.
Okay.
So so you're looking at a range of maybe about 3,000 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess.
Mm-hmm. Now, that woman Jezebel, now remember, Revelations, this is prophetic language. Right. It's not literal. It's like the two witnesses.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not two dudes running around. Everybody, no, I know who the two witnesses is. They're just Moses and Elijah. It's not talking about two men. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about the two kingdoms who the Most High has dealt with and gave his laws to, which is Israel and Judah. That's the two. Go ahead.
Okay. To teach and to seduce my servants.
To do what?
To teach.
To teach. I suffer a woman not to teach, nor to usurp the authority over the man. Any reason why a woman will want to teach would be to usurp authority over men.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what that's all about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She doesn't have what it is to teach. She can teach the children, and she can teach other women how to love their husbands and their children.
Okay.
And it's crazy. I was talking to Officer Martin Bob earlier. He was like, "Damn, it's a shame that even then the women had to be taught. It's like, there should be this natural affection." Right. Which is true, but every time we got an animal, an Esau running over us, ruling over us, that's how it's going to crack off, because he's going to put feminism on your women, try to destroy your family, even though it wasn't so badly destroyed back then. But that spirit was still there. And he made a hell of a point with that, because we are under the time of the Romans right now. The same people that was ruling over us back then, when this was written, their children is ruling over us right now. This is Rome.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the Roman Empire, the revived Roman Empire, the New World, New World Order, whatever you want to call it. Okay, go ahead.
To teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication.
Now, think about this for a second. People love to go to churches that got a female pastor.
Right.
Especially if she's attractive, and there's attractive women inside that church. You know what I'm saying? Even for niggas that know that it's wrong, it's still tempting. Because you start thinking about all the boxes in there. You know what I'm saying? Really tough. You see a warehouse, so many boxes in that bad boy, you know what I'm saying? So it's real, and then a lot of the times the female pastor lightweight flirt with you just to try and get you hooked in. Go ahead.
Cardboard boxes, because cardboard boxes are kind of stale.
Right? Yeah, definitely cardboard boxes. Hell, because used boxes. All the musicians are ran.
I just had to try it.
Yeah, used boxes and everything. Right. All the musicians and everything that ran through. I tell you, they talk about the Christian pastor getting boxed. Them musicians get the box.
Right.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? The musicians get the box. You know what I'm saying? They don't go through a whole lot of the, you know, stuff like the pastor don't want to get exposed. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the time. So he can, you know, be a little more discreet about who he get with. Because he don't want nobody coming and just clowning him inside his church. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the musicians, they don't give a damn. Because a lot of them ain't even claiming to follow the Lord anyway. They just go from church to church to church playing music. And they pay them to do that.
Yeah.
So the difference ain't nothing but a slavery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A slavery that opens them up to get a lot of box. You know, real tough. And they get exposed, it's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? There's been sisters in the church that I was going to, she's pregnant by the drummer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, remember that? Yeah, she was pregnant by the drummer, and then, you know, the drummer ended up in the damn crime times for statutory rape. You talk about some rough stuff. I mean, all of the musicians had dirt, but nobody holds them to that. Right, yeah, nobody holds them accountable for any of that because they just only getting paid just to play the music. But then here's the funny thing about it, because the Christian pastor will talk about you got to watch who plays the music inside your church. Talk about how spiritual it is and how such and such and all this and that and talk about that. But then they sit there and let the same dudes come to their church and play. Mm-hmm. What type of stuff is that? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And to eat things sacrificed unto idols.
And to eat things sacrificed, anybody know what that is? To eat things sacrificed to idols? Don't want to celebrate the holiday. They'll let people go from another church and speak at their church, and they do keep those days. And they'll revere them as something high up in the body of Christ. And those people eat pork. They, they teach against even what you teach at your church. You know, so now what is that doing? That's weakening the people.
Right.
Because they like, damn, we can't do that, but they can do that.
Right.
And then they are allowed to come up here and speak.
Right.
And be guests and treated with honor and all of that. So now what they start to think, they're like, man, I must be in the wrong place. I'm gonna go chill with them, so I can go eat me a pork chop. Mm-hmm. You know, there's different ways that they seduce. You know what I'm saying? That they seduce people. I mean, they have the diverse ways of doing it. Also, we're not. No. See, we're just eating the turkey and the dressing and cranberry sauce. But see, we're not doing it for that. Mm-hmm. We're not doing it for Thanksgiving. You know. We're celebrating. We're celebrating Christmas. It's not really celebrating Christmas though. We're just passing around gifts and having a big Christmas dinner. You know what I'm saying? But we don't celebrate that. It's still the same thing. It's still all the same. You know, it's trying to find a slick way to do it.
Kind of. And then, I mean, not only is it propagated in religious institutions, but if you look at the calendar, I mean, again, on that political level, they got days, months, and weeks dedicated to this nonsense.
Right.
And they make it
ideology
a socio-economical like connection. You know, they push that and promote these holidays, your Thanksgiving, 4th of July, right. Memorial Days, Labor Days, right. New Year's,
right.
And some of them will have their political parties based off some of these notions too.
Right.
You know, if Thanksgiving come around, you know, they're all talking about, you know, that turkey and that stuff and that family gathering.
Right.
4th of July coming around, everybody popping off their fireworks on their platform during their campaign.
Right.
And they just in the bottom of the crowd.
Right. Yeah. Also too, they say we ain't supposed to celebrate that. But at the same time, then that's when the woman Jezebel will come. That's when you start to see a clause.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was acting all nice and sweet at first. Now you get to see them claws when you come with them laws. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You see the claws when you come with the laws. Real talk. And next thing you know, she gonna slander you in front of you. She gonna slander you to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's the system they got. You say something against what they believe, they're gonna slander you and have everybody looking at you through a bad light.
Right.
Don't talk to him. He's a Muslim. Or they'll do stupid stuff like that. Just like the one church that I used to go to, right? They believe in keeping the Sabbath days, feast days, not celebrating Christmas, but Thanksgiving was a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? And who was that influenced by? The pastor had a woman right next to him. It's like his second in command inside the church. You know, and all the men were pushed down. While she sat as queen. But then they sell it, and I said something about it. You know, my uncle went to this church. I said something to my uncle about it. My uncle goes, "This turkey ain't getting nothing to nobody." Yeah, it has. There's 77 million people were murdered behind that. You know. With that being said, we have the I.S.U.P.K coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Pay your tithes. Support the men that is out here on the battlefield fighting for you.
Right.
With that being said, I'm about to pass the class over to priest and officer among the bar.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We have the I.S.U.P.K started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted on. The sister has another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother married. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, December 9th, we have the Feast of Dedication. You can always check in the ISUPK.com, get in touch with the closest school in your region, and get further details on how and where they're going to gather. If any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That means your boots, your shirt, your pants, your headscarf, or your slackie, your headband and scarf.
With that being said, Amaju, upon Hakidam, rise and face the east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim. Kadash. Ayah. Shamka. Yahau. Malakaka. Adazayaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barakaza. The wall. Ayah. Bashamayim. Tananaw. Come. Call. Yawam. Asalakna. Walking out. Abiyana. Balasai. Kabal. Abashayana. Wayan. Right. Kaya. Laka. Amalak. Wa'ar. Lawalayim. Aman. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. That's like, what you say, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Right. Alright, come on. Salaki. Start that back over. Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts
Give us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into
into
temptation,
temptation,
but deliver us from
but
evil.
deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom
Thine is the kingdom
and the
and
power
the power
and the
and the
glory
glory
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Bless it. Prayer to bless Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
I Magana.
Agun.
Agana.
Say the name of the Lord was once, everyone repeats the name once. I.S.U.P.K Minneapolis,
I.S.U.P.K Minneapolis.
Maccabi,
Makana.
Kadash,
Kadash.
and all the story of Israel.
No school of Israel.
Done. Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Come. The Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School, U.P.K,
The Lost World Drives.
Lost to a tribe,
I'm the lead.
I'm a leader.
Jamie.
Jamie.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
Joseph Daniel.
Joseph Daniel.
Paul.
Paul.
Paulette.
Paulette.
Aries.
Aries.
Devin.
Devin.
I.S.U.P.K Minneapolis.
I.S.U.P.K Minneapolis.
Jerisha.
Risa.
Carisha.
Carisha.
Kadasayana.
Kudasayana.
Sataryala.
Sataryala.
Tanagabar.
Nagabar.
Cardone.
Cardone.
Kabatabak.
Barabar.
Badabar.
Balabar.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Barai.
Right.
Cole Clinton.
Cole Clinton.
Harrison.
Arizona.
Kawana.
Governor.
Azara.
Azar.
Nepal.
Apart.
Flat. The Power Cop.
The Power God.
Tim.
Tim.
Cliff.
Cliff.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
All of Israel.
All of Israel. Ba'ashem Yahushua,
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
the water Amon.
The water Amon. In English, what we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Yahweh in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us and Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
And the school.
In school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In the
Yahushua.
name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To evil and curses.
And evils and curses.
And punishment, destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the
That
heathen.
speak against
To
us.
speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
Teachers.
As teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
Priests.
Priests.
The Israelite brothers in the school.
The Israelite brothers in the schools.
And evils and curses.
Send evils and
To
curses.
punishment, destruction.
Punishment and
To the
destruction.
heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose
And shake
the
loose
treasure.
the treasure
Of the rich of
of the
Israel.
rich of
That
Israel.
refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches.
Forces be moved.
Eyes.
Spot.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
National Space Program.
National Space Program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airway.
And the airways.
The cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
And the radio
And
channel.
the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of our people
of any of our people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop
and
us
bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen.
to all of these.
Stand in the way.
Stay in the way.
Try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcasting your word
Broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet
Let
Earth.
loose all the planes.
Release all the planet.
Cause them to go to and fro
Cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the
and
earth
consume them.
and consume
Let
them.
the plague shake
Let the place
the
shake.
house of the thief
The house of the thief
and the murderer
and the murderer.
and Yahushua,
And Yahushua.
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel.
down with the flying saucer
And down with my sauce.
and punish all the heathen
And punish all the
that
heathen
come up against
that
us
come up against
as we
us
speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known
Cause it to be known
by all
by all.
that it's the angels that have done
It
it.
was the angels that have done this.
Cause it to be spread
Cause it to be
through the
spread
media
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake it thy company.
Cause them to shake it back home.
In the name of
In the
Yahushua,
name of Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So, men of Israel, Mada Shabbat, Mada, Barak, Yazmatah, courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Mada Shabbat, Mada, Barak,
Y'all see y'all outside.
Y'all go top, class dismissed.